listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the odds to win the Workday Charity Open at Muirfield Village Golf Club analysis and picks preview for Monday, July 6th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Brian Blessing.
All right, folks, brand new week, another big golf tournament, and a real intriguing handicap because we're going back-to-back weeks at Muirfield Village. So, yeah, there's a chance to make some dough here, but I think there's a real chance to watch some stuff and pick up something on the weekend that you'd also be able to apply towards the Memorial in the subsequent week. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart, our glorious Canadian representative, joins us. Hello, Cameron.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, friend. Friendo.
Hello, friendos. Let's go to Muirfield.
All right, hey, let's do this real quick.
Yep.
In fact, while we're talking, let me see. I'll punch her up and see what we're looking at. I would be betting. I already got Ty Hatton. I got him at 80 when I had him at 150 for the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
I also had a little kind of flyer a while back on Matthew Fitzpatrick. But I would tell you something, bud. I think Bryson DeChambeau at the Masters.
I've already bet it.
if
and it was 30-1. Now you know what it is now, Brian?
I'm looking. That's what I'm looking.
I'm going to guess 15.
12.
Yeah, 12.
God.
Okay, even lower. That's the thing. This guy's got the ability, if he doesn't hit it behind trees, you know, and just actually, even if he hits it in the rough, who cares? The guy's hitting it 365 yards, right? If he has an angle to the pin, it's fine. That's the problem. We talked about this. Golf's not getting better. It's getting worse because these guys all murder the ball. How do you bring in excellent fields? What were the best tournaments that we saw? The ones that had small ball hitters at the top, big guys, like everything, right? I just don't think the Brendan Todds of the world, I get it, it's boring, and but me and you, we love golf, right? And I don't mind guys I think you should be awarded for hitting fairways. You shouldn't be rewarded for hitting it two fairways over 360 yards. It's very simple. You make the rough big, you put more water and traps and hazards out there, and you make these guys like DeChambeau pay for what they do.
Well,
Instead, they're just going to keep on murdering the ball.
If you remember, when he launched on the scene, I mean, hell, they even did it at Augusta. I mean, they tigerized these courses, right? They lengthened. But this is insanity. I mean, this guy's carrying the ball 340. And the crazy thing is, I mean, he could run away and hide in most of these tournaments. He could have won all four of the tournaments.
Exactly.
But
the thing is, he's not playing well, Brian. That's the thing. Like he doesn't hit fairways and he's winning. Like, what's he going to do when he hits it straight?
The crazy thing is, his scrambling shots are better. He's kind of got a little McIlroy thing going on here.
He does.
I know I know you were watching. I don't know if you were listening. But they did a big thing. If he can dial the 120-yard club in, it's over because he's playing graphite shafts. And Nick Faldo said what he should do is have a wedge or a couple of wedges that have stiff shafts because out of nowhere, remember it cost him in Colonial when he was in the first cut of rough and he airmailed the green with a wedge. And every now and again, he's got a wedge that goes 15 yards further than he's thinking it's going to go. And it's because they're graphite shafts. And if you remember at Colonial, right, he airmailed that one green. And then yesterday after he hit a bad mistake where he's just punching out and he hit it in the water. Then he's got a shot into a third shot in and he put it about, 45 feet above the pin. And he's going, and he yelled out, he goes, "Why are these clubs going so far?"
I kind of I understand what Faldo's saying, but I don't even think you need to go that far with steel comparison to graphite. Just have a 3/4 swing. Just don't hit it. Don't try to murder everything. Like other guys have touch shots, right? The thing with DeChambeau is everything's hit hard. And
that's I get it, kid. I hear you, and he's got touch. But the thing is, I mean, what you want, and he is this mathematical. He's he's a beautiful mind.
Yeah, he's a scientist. Yeah, you see the golf shirt he was wearing? It had mathematical equations on it.
He wants to swing the same swing every time. But the thing is, when you hit with the graphite shaft, if it goes 330 or it goes 350, it's no big deal.
Yes,
but if the
I
wedge
agree.
is going 129 instead of 120, he's
That's
not
a
making
big deal.
That's what he's saying. He should just dial down and have his way. But his scrambling and punch shots out of the thick rough, he and bunker play. I mean, he's 40 yards from the green and guys are 130 out.
Yeah, that's
at Augusta. I'm telling you, kid. Augusta's all pine needles. There's very little problem at Augusta, honestly.
Oh, I know. I walked it. You're right. It's going to be hard to find a bad lie there unless there's a hole that a gopher or something built next to the pine needle, right? Like I agree 100%. Here's the thing.
Well, they got number 8 at Augusta, right?
Yes.
Par 5, uphill. It's a dog leg right, then a dog leg left. Well, that second shot, and there are guys that pull it off. But that second shot, those guys are hitting, 3 woods in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he's gonna be sitting there. He's gonna be hitting 6 iron in there.
6 iron. Yeah. Easy.
He's going 4 under on 8.
I'm not saying he doesn't have touch to win golf tournaments. What I'm trying to say is, you look at certain things, it's working. He's hitting everything full throttle. He's smashing the ball. He's, you know what I mean? He's pumping in 7 protein shakes, bacon, eggs, 10,000 calorie diet. Everything is hard. I'm just saying you can get a 3/4 wedge. You can do that stuff. I'm not talking about steel versus graphite, but you're absolutely right. He's going to rip up Augusta. I think I got him at 28 or 30 to 1. You say he's down to 12 to 1.
And you remember
he's got the perfect game for that golf course. And Brian, let me bring some more facts to the table. Since the restart, let me tell you something. You know this, but we just confirmed it. Bryson DeChambeau has a 20-shot lead over everybody on the PGA Tour since the restart. He is minus 67. T2, Lucas Glover minus 47, and Victor Hovland minus 47. 20-shot lead, buddy.
Well, but the two best players by a mile since we come back, and not even a contest, were DeChambeau and Berger.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
And Berger
didn't play last week,
and he's not playing this week.
Yeah, he's taking some
and
time
he's
off.
got the streaks at whatever for Berger under par. That could be threatened at Memorial. I mean, and believe you know what? I'll tell you one thing. Maybe not so much this week, but for the Memorial, Nicholas will soup that course up. That's the thing. I hope Jack does. Like, the thing is, golf. We have a problem with golf right now. It's a big problem. These guys are too strong. They're too good in the equipment. Like, I looked at my old woods, Brian. I gave this guy that I know, one of our listeners, I had 3 sets. Oh, buddy,
my persimmon wood is literally like nothing. It barely is the size of a golf ball. Now you look at the drivers now; they're like the size of my head. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
I was going to say I'm laughing because your old clubs, my old clubs, but you're right. I mean, the woods.
Like, I had a tailor-made persimmon. Like, the first time they brought out steel, they're nothing. Like the 3-wood, you can barely even see the head of it. A 3-wood, right?
Yeah. A 3-wood would basically the total width of it. It was maybe about 1/8 of an inch, not even, on either side of the golf ball. Like the golf ball,
yes, the golf ball's the size of the club. Exactly. Now look at it. Like, this is the thing. Like, I even talked about this. My buddy's from Scotland, and he's a huge golf fan too. We talked about this, and he's got a great idea. They'll never do it. I think at certain courses, you play the British Open, you play our ball. I don't care if you're Rory Sabatini with your stupid yellow ball. You look like a gearbox from Srixon or TaylorMade or Bridgestone. You play the ball that we have for the tournament. Everyone plays it. I think it's a great idea. Everyone will call me an idiot, but you know what? I really don't care. Things need to change. That's all.
Well, you know what? The way you would do that, and they could do it, is for the average guy, and it makes it. I mean, listen, I ain't no spring chicken, Cam. I still hit my irons further than the guys I play regularly with, and I'm older than them. I still hit an 8-iron like 153.
That's good.
I've gained distance. So I mean, the equipment,
calories or Marlboros.
Well, in a cocktail.
In a cocktail, exactly.
No, that's swing oil. So from a technological aspect or whatever, if that's the word, You're right. I don't know that you make this industry-wide thing so the average people can play the game now, but certainly Titleist or Callaway or whatever, that the tour says, here are the specs.
Yes.
Here are the specs, and these golf balls all have to do this, and the ball doesn't go as far.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm coming from. Enough is enough. Everyone, but this is what we've talked about with sports. Oh, the home run, let the steroids and the home run. Oh, Bryson DeChambeau, he hits at 365 yards. Yeah, it's great. Great stories. Everyone loves it. I don't, because I'm a real sports fan. I don't want to see a guy doing this, and until they change the golf courses. And you're right, Jack Nicklaus is the type of guy to say, listen, you know what, this guy you got to pay the price. If you are going to hit it 40 yards left or right, you have to be in some rough where you can barely get the ball out, not just as little half wedge to the green. Oh, I might birdie, I might eagle, I might do this. Like the par fives are a joke. This guy just murders it, and he's going in with an iron, and it doesn't even matter. Like the lie, it's like he doesn't ever have to pitch out.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is,
well, that's the crazy thing. He didn't even play well with his driver.
I'm playing a game now that the majority of the PGA Tour is playing against these guys. I got the yips with the driver. It was the one that I could just get up and hammer the hell out of the driver about 245, and with the draw, and I lost it. And now because you can never put it all together. Now my irons aren't bad. My chipping's been really good in my putt, but I'm telling you, off the tee to survive, because I was taking myself out of so many holes. I played driver off the deck, off the tee, and I just played over the weekend, and of course I had a great day hitting it off the deck, and then the irons went to hell. But you know what? But the point is, I'm giving up 35 yards at least to the guys I play with by hitting driver off the deck, but I'm not taking myself out of holes. So instead of hitting an 8-iron, I'm hitting a 6 or a 7-iron in, but I got to look at the hole, and I'm not. And the guys I play with, if they're spraying the driver, I got a big edge because I'm playing from the short grass, right? So I found a way to survive out there. But this stuff that we're talking about on the PGA Tour, these guys are machines from the fairway, right? But it's almost not a fair fight, because I'll just hammer it as far as you can down there, and I'll gouge a 60. And then on top of it, these guys get a 60-degree wedge. The ball's three inches down in the rough. They get it up and down and out of there with spin. Are you kidding me?
I know. To my point that you're saying everything I'm saying. So how do we stop this? How do we reward a golfer who, just does everything right? He keeps it in play. He's got all aspects of his game working. You have to penalize. Like, I don't want to see rough that guy. It's a joke. Like, I want to see this thing growing, like grass on crack. I want to see like the grass, the side, like Brian, just huge, clumpy, big fescue like they have in Scotland. Just, you got to like use everything just to move it. Then you know what? These guys wouldn't have to be doing that. Maybe I'll play a 3-wood. I'll smash an iron like Tiger Woods. I'll play a stinger. I got to keep it in play, because this is not good for the game. I'll get off it. We got golf picks to come up, but I don't want to sound like the guy get off my lawn. It's surprising that more people don't have our attitude, because it's not going to be cool when we see this. It takes thinking out of the game. I get it's the average fan. It's probably good for them. I don't like it. Bottom line.
Let's make some money tonight.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today, simply by going to the website at betmaker.com. All right. So for this week's event, I will tell you, I was all about Koepka before he had to pull out with the COVID thing. And it was his caddy. It wasn't him. And I can't imagine that Koepka had put all that work in and was so close to winning that 2 weeks away, this guy did anything other than keep working. But you've got past winners in here: Matsuyama, Rose, Cantley, guys that have won here. But I like Koepka, but you got to give those guys a look because they've done well here.
I hate to say it. So Bryson DeChambeau won at 6-1. It's funny. He could have probably got him live when he was starting to fade away at like 4-1, almost the same odds. And I think a lot of people did that. Patrick Cantlay is 14-1, Brian. He's on the card. I actually wrote him down last week when I watched him play. If he is playing at the Rocket Mortgage, bet him. He didn't. He loves Jack Nicklaus. The Bear is his idol. He loves to play well in front of him, and he played well before. 14, I wish we can get 20, but that's living in a dream world. Hideki Matsuyama at 16-1. He played great last week. He had one stretch again. I don't know what this guy's doing. His touch, like you got 3-foot putts. Come on, Hideki. Like you had the 15, 16 under, and then the wheels fell off, but he was there. And I saw his iron play, Brian, and other than the first round where he was off, he was nutting shots, like beautiful stuff inside 6 feet. And if he hits any type of putts, I know it's not the popular thing to do. I wish we got more odds, but, DeChambeau's not there. So who are the best? Justin Thomas is the favorite at 11. I like Cantlay at 14. I like Matsuyama at 16. And then I'll do some top 10 and top 6 bets on some other guys. Guys that I'm looking at, I think Adam Hadwin is a really good golfer that doesn't get the respect he deserves. Another top 5. He's 50-1. And one Brit that I think is not being valued this week and is starting to come around is Matt Wallace at 110-1. To me, that's the best price out there.
Yeah, I spent a whole year burning money on Matt Wallace. It's tough.
I know, but I'll burn money this week on it. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna have Cantlay and I'm gonna have Hideki. And if Hideki screws me, he'll probably break my heart like he always does. But I feel really good about Cantlay, even at 14. I wish the odds were better, but it's about winning the damn golf tournament at 14-1. He's gonna be my horse.
All right, you want an out of sight, out of mind guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, I don't know why. It's the pandemic. I guess it's as good a reason as any. No, but and my memory tells me he may have done something here. At 150-1, what did we just get done talking about? Length, what it means. JB Holmes at 150-1.
See, I know what I can actually, out of all those guys, I thought you were going to go with JB Holmes. Chez Reavie, like I know sometimes he enters your thought process.
Get a hat.
Yeah, I know. Chez Reavie, no, he likes to rock like the big head, no brim. Like, you know what I mean? He thinks he's a rapper, but that's Chez Reavie. What else do we got here? JB Holmes at 150-1. Yes. What does he do well? Bombs it. He bombs it. Freaky with the putter. That's a great price for a guy. And yes, you're right. But here's the thing, Cam. He has not. You're getting this. Put it this way: if this guy had come back and been top, he finished 12th, at the Charles Schwab or 15th at the Heritage. This guy's 60-1. We haven't seen him. He has not played since the shutdown. So he's coming off a long layoff. But he had a bunch of 12, 14. I mean, he was in. Didn't he have the lead in the one tournament and spit the bit? Yep, exactly. Like he's there.
Anyway, I'm very much with you that it's a chalky kind of deal. I mean, I'm gonna kind of saddle up with Koepka, but man, I mean, we just got done talking about all this, hitting a mile and what length means. And would you consider Holmes in the top 20?
Yep, for sure I would.
In terms of length?
Yes, he murders the ball, and the difference is he can, when he's really feeling it, he can hit it straight too. And also his wedge game's impeccable, and when he gets hot with the putter, that's the thing. JB Holmes should not be 150-1. He should be in the 70, 75 range. You're right. It's the pandemic. We haven't seen him. Guys from the odds makers are just throwing him out there, going, you know what? Yeah, and nobody knows anything about him. He could come out hot. Who knows what he's doing? Maybe he's working on his game. I'm not sure. But at that price, if you're looking for a long shot, I think he totally fits the bill. And it's interesting, Brian. We've seen another guy who's more of a favorite who we haven't seen in a while, a guy that's helped us and broke our hearts. He'll steal your wallet, and don't sneak up on him at the Canadian Open because he might pull a knife on you. Matt Kuchar. He's 40-1. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's a world-class player. I'm not betting him 40-1, but
he's been smiling during the pandemic. Hey, Matt, how you doing? I'm good. Hey, what's going on? Well, there's a global pandemic.
I life's great. I got money. How you do? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, glad I only gave that caddy in Mexico $500.
Exactly.
I thought there might be a pandemic coming. That'll be his new excuse.
This guy's such a clown. You know what I love about golf fans too? I don't even think they like Kuchar. They just like going Cooch. It's like if the guy's name was Matt Smith, like no one would care who he is. No one cares about Matt Kuchar. Cooch, right?
Yep.
That's all I'm saying, and it's the truth.
Here's a crazy price. The price is nuts, and it's deserved, actually.
Jason Day.
I love you, buddy. How did you know?
Honestly, it's almost like I just looked.
It's scary, isn't it? I mean, honestly, of all the 140 players, and he lives there.
You know what?
I was just
looking at that zone.
Ohio guy, and the problem is every year he comes to this damn thing. You know, he's like the Civil War soldier with the thing around his head, and he's limping up and down the fairway, and all he needs is the drum and the fife. He's always hurt.
He is, but but remember, he played this week. He played in the Bubba Watson charity thing before that at the Rocket Mortgage. So maybe he's getting a little bit, but no, he made the cut last week. He just didn't do well. At 70-1 is an insane price for a guy that any type of week can be there. His form's bad, but the price is amazing. It's funny. I knew you were going to Jason Day. I just like that.
Well, if we're going to sit there here, let me tell you something, kid. Honestly, and maybe it wasn't that. No, it was still impressive that you knew that that's who I was going to talk about. And I really gave you no real hints.
No, you didn't.
But no,
we just know each other. That's why I know.
But if we're going to stand there and play Brian Stewart in Detroit at 150-1. Because it's his backyard, you're telling me Jason Day, you wouldn't at least give him the same look at a ridiculously overlaid price?
Yeah, no, like Brian Stewart, if not for that bogey on the final hole, he'd probably go to finish his top 20 and I win money. Like Tony Finau is another guy, Brian. I'm done with him. Like I don't care if he's 100-1. Like what he did to me on Sunday in that tournament, like the guy starts off bogey. I need him top 20. Like he's 4 over after a few holes. I'm like, get bent. Like, what happened to this guy? Like, he's supposed to – you think you're world class? Like, I don't know what is going on with him. But Jason Day, on the other hand, is not playing great, but he's starting to play. He's coming out of his shell. You said it. Horses for courses. He's familiar with it. That's a great price. Like, I understand Streelman's in better form at 70. Scotty Scheffler, he's the same odds as Scotty Scheffler, who was +7 and, like, was dead last. He was 146 out of 146 guys. Like, you know what I mean, Brian? Like, he was awful. He was at the bottom of the leaderboard. Yeah, and our pick, Kevin, he withdrew. Good work, Kevin. The week I take, he's another guy. Put him on the list. Prick. No, honestly, like, I'm so mad. It's amazing. Like, we take these guys, and they just break my heart. Like, I need them to do something. They never do. Anyway, just frustrating.
One more. I mean,
horses that jockey falls over the friggin' rail. Yeah, what else you got for me?
Well, I got
Shane
one more.
I know another one you like, Shane Lowry.
You're so close. You'll get it. I'll give you 2 more guesses. You're knocking on the door.
Louis Oosthuizen.
No, that's a different continent.
No, that's a different door. Knock. Who's there? Poultry? Ian Poulter?
You were very close. You were very close. Fitzpatrick at 60-1.
I thought that. I just didn't know you wanted to go below like the 70-1 range. No, you love Fitzpatrick. He's your guy.
Well, but
hello, Chitty-o, look at me.
No,
his little British haircut there.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, social distancing. Don't let him collide with Charles Schwartzel. Every dentist in the world would.
You're right. Fitzpatrick has joined the Choppers Club with Charles Howell and Schwartzel. Don't let that little hairdo and teeth fool you. No, that kid can really bite into corn. 60-1. I don't know, man. Like,
here's the thing about Heritage,
he'll break your heart.
I get it. 66, 66, 68, 68 at Heritage. Finished 14th, 16 under par. And then he missed the cut at the Travelers and took a break. But I mean, from a price perspective, he's better than a lot of guys. But
yeah,
I mean, Cantley, man, I can't trust Matsuyama. if he beats me, he beats me. I just can't try. I mean, yesterday I faded him in a matchup. I get plus 265 with Fabian Gomez against Matsuyama. Matsuyama's got a 4-shot lead. I'm going, boy, what was I missing there? Was I way off? And of course, Matsuyama goes 3 over coming in, and Gomez has a 12-footer to tie him on 18 and missed it. But that's Matsuyama. Matsuyama just, I don't know, man. There's just
what's wrong with this guy?
There's always there's a snowman out there always waiting for him.
There is, but also this is a tournament that he plays well at. We saw form last week. You're right. It's almost one of those things. The price he should be where like Fowler is, or Rose at the least. He should be 22 or 30.
The Fowler thing is
Ricky Fowler. He's another guy like
Beef.
Just get out of here.
The get-along gang.
Yeah, the get-along gang. Justin Thomas is he's the alpha male of the get-along gang because he can actually play. Ricky Fowler, I don't care. The PGA Tour players are right. He is the most overrated player on tour.
Who was the other
kid?
Get
a top 20.
Well, you'll be proud of me. Like, talk about having too much information. Who's the last member of the get-along gang? Basically, he drives the car everywhere. And he goes, Bud Cauley, right? All right, Bud, take us to Nassau.
I'm gonna take it away, Brian. I got 2 chalky. Hey, I'm going juice extra pulp. I really don't care because this is the way it's going down. Patrick Cantlay, down boy. He's my horse. He wants to hug Jack again at 14-1. Hideki Matsuyama, you're right. Danger's lurking, but I'll take him at 16-1. Why not take a shot at Jason Day at 70-1? Matt Wallace at 110-1. Brian, those are 4 horses I'm stepping up with. 2 chalky horses, 2 big pooches. What do you got?
I'm gonna try to saw you off on the favorite person. We didn't mention once, and the guy, honestly,
Victor Hovland.
No. Just let me ask you something. Right now, head to head. And all the hype and what he could become. But here's a question for you. In the next decade, everybody thought John Rahm's going to be the next best thing, right? We haven't even mentioned him. 14-1.
I don't want him.
Schauffele's at 18-1. Head to head, the next decade, who do you like better, Schauffele or Rahm?
Schauffele.
Bingo. We didn't even mention Schauffele, but I like Koepka. I think he was really – now, again, the one caveat I'll throw into this, I mean, it's a PGA tournament. It said the purse is $6 million, but the purse is $9 million next week for the Memorial. And what will be very interesting to see, and I would say listen and see what they're saying in terms of how they may change the setup for the Memorial. And I wonder how if that could throw some guys that play well this week, you would think normally would come right back and say they were tuning up for the Memorial. But if he changes the setup, if they played this course for 4 days, and then all of a sudden they throw a knuckleball at him and really change the setup for the Memorial, somebody coming off the shelf may be better off.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Brian. Like, I'm a little bit worried about taking Cantlay and these guys because I think, winning the Memorial is a hell of a lot better than winning the Workday Charity Open.
Memorial's the 6th major, right? Wouldn't you say after TPC?
Yes.
Memorial's the next best
6 or 7
prestigious
for sure. Yeah, because it's Jack. Arnold Palmer, God rest his soul, he's faded away. So that is the generational golf guy. You want to play well in front of Jack and Barbara Nicholas. You do.
What's the big one in Europe? Is it the Mercedes or the BMW?
BMW's huge.
I would think it'd be the TPC, it'd be Memorial. And then I think you could make a case, throw the Europeans a bone. They're big boy, the Memorial one or the BMW one.
The BMW Championship's a world-class tournament.
It's a world-class tournament. You're right.
Got for me?
By the way, you're right. Shane Lowry.
You like Koepka, and Shane Lowry can play well here. Do you like Shane Lowry? He's not in great form.
No, you know what? I think Koepka for sure. I think we kick ourselves in the ass if we didn't play JB Holmes and he ever won this thing when we're just got done talking about length.
Yeah,
and he's a bit of a wild card. Here's this is the crazy thing about this, because he's kind of a name still, right? If JB Holmes comes out and shoots 64 in the first round,
that's what he does. He's always good in the first round.
But on Thursday night, this guy's going to be 15-1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, get him at the big price, and then that can afford you to do some other things. No, I agree with that. If he's leading, he'll go down to 20-1.
Kept getting homes, top 2, and Flyers mid-price range on Fitzpatrick. And the Jason Day thing, if Jason Day ever won this thing, we'd be going, what the hell's wrong? It's Webb Simpson in Carolina. It's Brian Stewart in Michigan. It's Pat
Jason
Perez
Day.
on the West Coast.
Yeah, and it's Jason Day in Ohio.
Day driving to the course from his home.
Yeah, and he's also playing again. Like, it's an insane price for a guy that can turn it on for 4 days. No, I'm with you. I'm not sure if he's going to win, but he has to be played. Like, and you'll get a wicked price for top 10 with him at 70.
Well, I don't know this for a fact, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption, isn't it, that this is the course he works out at home?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, out here in Vegas, Kevin Na's always out at Southern Highlands. Piercy. I mean, you know, these guys have their course. I mean, he lives in Columbus, so wouldn't you assume that this is Jason Day's got a locker here, and when he's home for 3 weeks off a layoff, this is the course he's working at?
Of course it is. The Muirfield, Jack. Like, that's where you want to. That's where you want to be. Yeah, I am going to buy into Jason Day.
I think we're nuts. I'm trying to talk you into it.
No, you already did. I'm taking them at 70-1. I told you I like Cantlay and Matsuyama, and I like Day and Matt Wallace at 110-1. Those are my 4 horses. Other than that, I got some top 10s and top 20s, but those are guys I think we have to play. I'm on board, buddy. You didn't have to sell me on Jason Day. Like, I looked at him at that price and went, that's juicy. Can he put it together? Yes.
I do.
I'm praying that he shows up and doesn't have vertigo and wants to win. That would be fantastic.
Well, the one thing with him, I mean, in all aspects of the game, if health is the first thing with him. Now, apparently, we saw him. I didn't hear anybody saying, any overriding health issues when we last saw him. But the one thing you get with this guy, he's got the flat stick, bud.
Yeah, he does.
He knows these greens. So anyway, all right, we made the case. There you go.
I'm not worried about his putting. I'm worried about the way he's been off the tee. But if he can figure that out, then he'll be there. And we got him at a 70-1 price for a world-class player. Sign me up.
It's funny. Remember, was it the PGA? It was the one, or was it the U.S. Open? Was it the
the vertigo at the?
It was Chambers Bay.
Yes, it was.
He's walking. He's all of a sudden you see him rolling down the hill.
Yep. I'm like, oh. That's me after about 30 beers, just tumbling.
I'm like, when are they struggling? Cocktails on the course.
Woo! I'm telling you, Brian, I know it's a short price. Give me Cantlay. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but he lives for Jack Nicklaus. That guy doesn't say much, but I'll tell you, he has never been happier when he won the Memorial and talked to Jack, and Jack likes him too. He's a nice kid. I'm telling you, he'll be fired up. To him, this is a major. That's how much he loves the Bear, and I'm buying in. The odds are not great, but you know what? If you think the guy's going to win the damn golf tournament, 14-1 is a hell of a lot better than 6-1 when DeChambeau won, and I think Cantlay can win.
All right, there you go. Another look at the PGA, and watch it this week because we'll be talking about the same course next week. We'll see if we pick up some nuggets though about how they set up
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Everything else all right? There, Spark Plug.
Spark Plug. Everything all right, Spark Plug? Yeah, other than my toilet breaking and calling in the plumber, life's okay, Brian. It's okay. Just bills, and more bills, buddy. You know the way it works. I'm actually glad I got the toilet fixed, even if it cost a lot of money. You can't have a leaky toilet.
No. And I got news.
It was driving me nuts. The guy had towels down there. I'm like, just get the thing fixed.
I got news for you. So's your neighbor.
Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker Show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening, and if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review, or subscribe to our show feed, or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com. And reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and the Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.